Hey guys. So I just recorded an episode to realize that my microphone turned off halfway through, so nothing recorded. So here we go again. It's going to be way better this time. So I'm going to share with you this quote that I heard that really I love this quote because it makes your life better. So hear about this. It goes like this. Um, to change the quality of your day is the highest of arts. So, how does this apply? What does this really mean? It's just a fancy way of saying that to make our day better, our life better, is really a, an art that needs some crafting, needs some creativity, needs some thinking. And so I love thinking about this because I'm always trying to improve my day and I'm looking at things in my day that I need to do more of, or I also need to stop doing, or have someone else do, or I'm always like analyzing and strategizing about also timing, like how long things have to be done, like what time is better, right? As moms and stay-at-home moms as well, or even we're especially working moms, we are constantly strategizing when is better what. You're stacking stops, errands, kids pick up, and who's what, when, where, right? So I wanted to give you three of my recent life kind of day upgrades and just to get you thinking about how you can also improve your day. And I love this quote because it's just such a it kind of elevates, calling it an art makes it feel like it's something more important and more fancy, but really to make your day so good, it really is so satisfying, and it is an art. So one of the things recently I've started doing or that is ordering groceries. And I know a lot of you probably have been already ordering groceries online for a while and are loving it. But and you know what, I have done this previously before, but something didn't I didn't like either about the delivery times or the times that, like, how long I had to wait, or how much more I had to pay. Like, all these things didn't click previously, and so it didn't last. So I would end up having, to go by myself and go. But I would just, because I'm kind of I don't plan my meals for the whole week. I do maybe 1, 2 days or 3 days in advance. So I'm constantly running out of ingredients, right? If I want to make lasagna in 2 days, well, I didn't think of that last time I went to the grocery store, so now I need noodles, right? So that's why I love now everything clicked for this grocery delivery store, and I love it so much. I can order as often as I need to, and it usually comes the next day, which I love. And it just made my day so much better because no longer am annoyed that I have to go to the store again, with having to feed 6 people. And I'm often I have to go to the store, and now I don't. And especially for staples, like things that you like, condiments and things you like have to have no matter what you're cooking. Oh gosh, I would just hate going to get them, because then I end up, if I go get a big shop, then I have to push this huge cart and load it into the car and then unloading it from the car to the house. I was just I was just not enjoying it, you know? And so now I love it so much. It makes meal planning so much more enjoyable, cooking dinner so much more enjoyable, because then all I can focus on is, okay, what would be good to cook, or what do I feel like eating, or, what would the kids like, instead of, like, what do I have or what do I not have? Oh, I have to go again. So that made the quality of my day improved so much, and I only had to pay like $30 for a whole year for unlimited delivery. So the reason I'm bringing this up, and it might seem obvious to you guys who have already been ordering, or who, like, now after I've started ordering, it seems like a no brainer, like, yeah, of course. But before I started doing this, I didn't even think about it. Why? Because I was just doing things that I'm used to doing. I was just going to the grocery store Fridays and Mondays because that's what I do, and also going in between as well if I need something else, because that's what I'm used to doing. I didn't even question it. I just felt dread. I just did it, and I would be like bummed out that I have to go do it. So I wasn't even like thinking like, how else can I solve this problem? Like, do I have to do it? Like, what else could I do? Well, I wasn't troubleshooting at all because I was just on autopilot. So how many things are we doing in our life that are on autopilot that we could solve in a better way, that we're just simply, if we took a few minutes to think, we could actually come up with a few options. Like if I thought about this years ago and, you know, solved it and tried it, I could have been enjoying this for years. So I find it so interesting that our life could be improved if only we, like, our day could be better if only we just took a second to be like, okay, this is really annoying me. What could I do? But because we're like in the autopilot doing it, we don't take the time to think about it. Okay. So then as I started thinking, okay, what else can I eliminate? What else don't I have to do? And then I realized sweeping. Guys, I still sweep because there's Roombas out there, right? Vacuums that do it themselves, who can just, the vacuums can just do it for you while you're away. My mother-in-law actually gave me one for a present years ago that I actually ended up not using for some reason. I can't remember why. I gave it to my mom. I don't know what she did with it. But now I just thought of it, and I know my mother-in-law still uses her Roomba. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I need one. So we're about to order one. I think my husband's going to order today. And I cannot wait to stop sweeping, because now every time I sweep, I'm thinking, darn, I don't need to be doing this. I could just be, watching Olympics or, having a coffee. And I have to do it every day. Our floors are dark. I have a lot of kids. It just gets so dirty. So that's another one that I'm like, yes, success, eliminate. What else can I eliminate? Oh, I got to tell you another thing. So now that I've decluttered a lot of my house, I still have a bit to go. I stopped doing groceries. Now I'm going to stop doing the sweeping, and I'm just trying to replace things, like make space for things I enjoy. Now, and what else got decluttered? So I went to play singles with my friend, and that I usually don't play tennis singles with. And he says, well, what do you want to work on today? And I'm like, oh, we can just play for points. I'm good. And so he's like, well, I actually have, your forehand shot is so good. So if your serve was only as good as your forehand, then you'd be so good. And it's so true. My serve is super, super soft and weak and really could use a lot of improvement. Totally. And so he kind of just gave me a couple of tips that I tried, and I've now tried it out twice or three times. So, and I am so much better at serving. Like, my serve is so much more powerful. I just need to kind of break it in more, get used to it. But a lot of what he suggested was simply dropping a lot of things that I was doing that were completely unnecessary from my serve in tennis. Like this whole first thing that I was doing, like the swinging and the down and up and down, was so unnecessary. Wasn't actually doing anything for my serve. It was simply like a little ritual that I was doing that I thought I'm supposed to be doing. And I loved it because, again, it was like this little gift from the universe that'll be like, hey, you can just drop this. Just stop doing it. You don't need it, which is so awesome. And now I just played singles with my other friend, Catherine, and my serve was dramatically, noticeably more powerful. She noticed it, and it's still a bit spotty, but like not consistent. But holy smokes, I can not even. I'm so excited to see what it's like after a year of me doing it. So that's another thing I just decluttered. Another thing I just dropped, like improved my day instantly. And okay, I'm going to give you another one. And while you're, of course, listening to me, I want you to think about your things that you could either eliminate, ask someone else to do it, or, and then do what would you do with that time instead? Like how can you make your day feel so good and so satisfying? And like the timing of things would be good. And you'd be like, yes, I'm so happy I made that change. So the other change I've made is I've really simplified the way I approach dinners in my head now. Really, because I think I took my husband's advice. He's so smart. So he said all you need to do is a rotation of the same 8 meals or something like that you just keep doing over and over again. Which at first I thought was crazy. Like what? Like that just seems so boring and like crazy. But as I do approach each week now with my meal planning, I just end up choosing the same kind of similar thing I did last week. And two things happened because I started doing that. One thing is so much easier for me. I feel happy. Number two, kids love it because they've already eaten that last week and I know they like it, like Caesar salad, done. And they already are used to it, right? Which is a big deal for kids. They're used to it. They get excited for it if it's the same thing that they love. And if I figured out the meats that like are the biggest hit with my all my boys and my husband. So if I just kind of choose what they love the most, kind of like balancing healthy and unhealthy, then it just makes it so much easier. And so far, I haven't had any complaints because I can still kind of do some sort of variation, right, about it with it. But mostly, if I'm doing just veggies and a protein, then I can do a little bit of variation with the carbs. Like last night instead of doing pasta, I did gnocchi to go with the dinner, and so just kind of like I kind of simplified and I kind of allowed myself to not do as much variety, and so that made my day so much better. And I'm also doing like, okay, one night chicken, one night beef, one night fish, and one night whatever, maybe leftovers or whatever. So I kind of like meal plan based on what I did yesterday. So I'm like, okay, if I did chicken yesterday and before that we did steak, then maybe tonight I'll do fish. And so it kind of like it really affects yesterday affects today. So because I used to really stress out and feel like I have no guidance at all for meal planning. I don't know what to make, like where do I even begin? And like all these inspirational websites or ideas where I was like, oh, my kids won't need that. My husband won't like this and I don't want this. So I was just really overcomplicating it. Whereas now, again, I simplified, just like, sounds like the theme for today's episode is simplifying things, eliminating, simplifying, and that will make our life better, and then we can add stuff that we like, right? So so I'm just thinking like what else have I added back into my life that made my life better now that I've eliminated a couple things. Well, I think I made more space for my exercise and walking because I'm not going to the store as much, and having more time to do these things makes me less stressed, so I'm not like rushing around. And but because my schedule is so busy with driving kids and all the house chores and everything, that I don't have that much time to fill, but it just kind of decreased my stress levels because then I have more time to not rush with other things I have to do. I made more space for some Latin Spanish music that I'm constantly listening, not constantly, but I love it. It cheers me up and I love it. I thought in the beginning of this year I wanted to add some salsa dancing to my life, but again, do it shitty like in the previous podcast. I decided that right now what works for my life is not dancing to salsa, but just listening to salsa. And it honestly has a very similar effect to me than the dancing, is that I'm just happy. I love it. It's just so fun. And I feel like I'm already dancing because it's just such a fun vibes. And so I thought, okay, this is kind of like doing it shitty. This is an altered version of salsa dancing. It's just me enjoying the music. So for now, I'm good with it because a lot of salsa classes are in the evenings and the weekends. But I am a full time stay at home mom with four boys that I'm raising. So all of my evenings and weekends are I'm either feeding them or I'm driving them, right? So, and honestly, I want to do that now. I don't want to go to a salsa class, right? And especially going dancing, salsa dancing at in a club, it starts at 10, 11 p.m. Like, dude, I'm sleeping at 10, like 9:30 I'm in bed. So this is another way that I've kind of I'm making my life better by putting a lot of some music in it that I love, more walking, more Olympics watching. Right now Olympics are on, and what else, just kind of decluttering. It's I'm constantly decluttering because there's all the stuff that keeps coming into my house because of all these boys, sorting through sports equipment. Anyway, so there's so many other things that we can put into our day that are more enjoyable than the things that we don't enjoy. So go make your day better. I wanted to share that quote with you because, and my I shared that one with my best friend because she's definitely an artist with that, like a calculated artist. She's really good at like asking really good questions, like, what when would be the best time to do it, when can you do that. And I love how she always, whenever she has appointments, she always has like a time in the day, in the week, specific day in the week and the time when she just leaves open for appointments. How awesome is that? I feel like my life is way too chaotic with all these kids and too many appointments that I'm just gonna do them when I need to do them because I guess this is my full time job. Um, but I think like having order like that, to have space and time for everything that you have and need to do, can bring you so much peace in your day, right? To know that this is happening when it needs to happen. So she's taught me a lot about scheduling and just organizing your week, your time, so that it works for you. Okay, guys, have a great week, and I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.